Hello, everybody. This is your host, Grant Wallace. That's me. I've never done this before. So we're in uncharted territories, you could say. I've never hosted a podcast. I am brand new. This is my first time doing this, obviously, as I'm over-explaining myself already. But I kind of wanted to put a little intro out here so you know you're familiar with my very uneducated, loosey-goosey figuring this out. I could use all the constructive criticism possible from y'all on what you're looking for with this, because I am very excited about this and I want to do it, to the best of my capability. And much like with the Southern Shmooze, that requires vast input from everyone, businesses and neighbors alike. So, but yeah, I was getting this thing going has been quite a journey. I nearly forgot, but when I started this back in 2020, that same year, later in December, I made a post that said, coming soon, the Southern Shmooze podcast. So 6 years later, we are here. I mean, it's funny, right? I mean, good things come to those who wait. I think it is all meant to happen right now because I'm everything is just feeling right. And I'm excited to share whatever this is with y'all, which just real quick, I'm going to go into it pretty soon in episode 1, but this is for the, homeowner or whoever that is interested in learning more about who they want to work with. The Shmooze is literally mostly exists in an online world. And this is just another online thing, I guess you could say, but at least you get to hear from them, right? Literally hear from them. And that to me is exciting. That to me is just a step above just text, because that only goes so far, right? So anyways, that's an opportunity there. And then also from a small business perspective, if you're a local business listening, you're I would like to know how to get started, or maybe I can learn a thing or two from someone that's been doing this for forever, because you're wanting to start a new business or something. There's opportunities hopefully galore for everyone. All that to say, I'd like to get into it. This episode, number 1, is from almost a month ago. I was really excited to get it out immediately, but I had to wait a little bit, which is totally cool. I got really fortunate. My buddy Patrick, he plays in this band, The Winter Sounds. He did the theme song for us, which is so rad. So I'm excited to pop that on in just a few seconds. You might recognize his work because he did the Pen Pals theme song, if you're familiar with that podcast with Rory Scovel. And so shout out to him. Shout out to Kyle with Black Cat Tips. He did the Southern Shmooze art. I'm trying to be as local as I can, so everything I want the Shmooze to just encompass all that, right? That's what we're here for. And yeah, you'll get to learn a little bit about me throughout the episodes, et cetera, et cetera. If you're brand new and you don't even know what the Shmooze is, I'm going to go into that really soon. We have a Facebook group community that has about 16,000 members strong, so they could even tell you about it, right? So it's not just me, it's supposed to be we. See if I'm missing anything. No, I think we're about ready to go. So without further ado, this is my interview with Forrest Smith. He's one of our day 1 members. So hell yeah, Forrest. He is with Smith Home Services, LLC. I couldn't be more stoked to have him as guest number 1 to help me figure this thing out. And yeah, here we go.
When you're in need of a plumber, a roofer, a builder, a banker, a candlestick maker, electrician, technician, landscaper, bricklayer, flooring Southern Shmooze.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of...
Yeah, you're on the ground floor here.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm figuring it out as we go. So, okay, let's see. This is looking good. I feel good.
Yeah, sweet.
Shot?
I'm ready, yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, man, if we're like, hey, it was good, but it just didn't feel cohesive, or, if we just have weird delays or whatever, I'd be happy to just run the whole thing back.
All right.
I'm cool to work with you until we get a first episode that you're really happy with.
Yeah, speaking of which, I have some friends helping with a song, a jingle at the top.
Sweet.
So that will probably come in now or in a little bit.
Yeah,
So
little zing-a-ding-ding, the Southern Shmooze podcast.
it could be that. Yeah. All right, and then we'll pretend that we're back now from the song.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say, hello, I'm Grant. And today... we have Forrest with us.
Hey, how's it going?
There we go. Cool.
Happy to be here.
Off to a good start. There's probably some people listening that don't know what the Southern Shmooze is. So I thought maybe it's a good idea to get that out of the way, since this is episode 1 on March 9th, 2026 at 6 p.m.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, you tell me what you think it is, but I think it started in the pandemic. It's just a Facebook group community that's really like grown in numbers and just all sorts of cool little ways over the years to really just help out neighbors with personal recommendations about who they can hire for whatever around the house or the yard or anything in between. And does that about sum it up, or?
Yeah, I think you've summarized that well. I mean, I love that you can kind of ask for anything in there. It's pretty open-ended where, you're like, hey, I need to rent a dumpster, or I'm looking for a notary, or, you could pretty much ask for anything on there, and somebody's likely going to have a good recommendation for you. But yeah, I use it mostly to connect with potential clients, and then I really enjoy the networking aspect of getting to meet up with the contractors at our monthly meetings and just building my network, kind of on the contractor side of things as well.
Yeah, well said. And it should also be noted just that we are in Atlanta, so this is sort of an Atlanta-specific thing.
Yeah.
But not to say that but I'm interested in kind of, this is almost for two different sets of people. Like if you're a small business owner and you're listening, you're like, this could be for you, because we're going to interview other small businesses in Atlanta that could give you whatever, tips, tricks, kind of just behind the scenes. Maybe you're getting started and you want to know, like, well, what should I do? How should I do this? Or something. And then on the flip side, if you're like a homeowner, like, I would like to know, or whoever really, I would like to know who I'm working with. This is a cool way to possibly get to know who that person is and if you vibe, and just, instead of, because like the group is a lot of screen time, like other than the monthly meetups, I don't get to see anyone. And then we did the Schmoozapalooza last year, which was tight because I got to meet some people IRL. But yeah, I think, and one last thing, and then we can go into like some other part of the
No, I think
show,
it's good to try and explain a little bit about the Schmooze, because it's kind of vague, but it's not, it's like you can go on there and find contractors, find recommendations from other neighbors, and it's cool to have the website as well, where you can just go directly to the website and see all of the different Schmooze certified contractors that have been vetted by yourself. Mm-hmm. And it gives you a little bit of peace of mind that who you're working with has at least been vetted by you, or that you could go to bat if there was ever an issue.
Exactly. I think you nailed it. I think the only other part I probably should talk about is just who I am.
Yeah.
So let's get that out of the way, because I don't want to like give an introduction every podcast on who I am. But I founded the Shmooze back in 2020, and it was just like a passion project then. It's just something I thought would be cool to kind of get everyone together. I also have a landscape company, Grant Lana Lawn. I have a recycling company with my partner Mark called Peace of Mind Recycling. And I got a little dude, Gus, and a little girl, Fern, and we live in Grant Park. I think that should be enough to like wrap your head around who I am. But let's move on to you. So would you like to maybe say like where you're at, where you live, like what you do, and where you service?
Yeah.
Okay.
So my name's Forrest Smith, own and operate Smith Home Services. It's mostly handyman work. I do manage a paint crew doing sheetrock repairs and paint and pressure washing, wood replacement and stuff like that. And I specialize in minor plumbing and electrical, so faucets, garbage disposals, light fixtures, ceiling fans, stuff like that. I'll do some toilet repairs, but there are things that I don't do. I don't really touch water heaters. I don't do electric car chargers. So there are some things that you really should have a licensed professional do, and I'm always quick to refer one when it gets to that point. I am insured, so I don't do anything that I shouldn't be doing, and saves me and clients headaches by knowing when's the right time to refer somebody that's a licensed professional in that setting. But I also mount a lot of TVs and hang curtain rods and little stuff like doors that don't close right. I generally say you can ask me about anything, because if I don't do something, I know somebody that does, and I can point you in the right direction.
I like to say that too.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I live in East Atlanta with my wife and our 2 cats and dog, and we love the area. We lived in Kirkwood for 5 years in the Arizona Lofts right there by Pullman Yard, and that's actually where I started my handyman business. I had a full-time job doing kitchens and bathrooms and additions, and that's where I learned all of the trades, because we did everything in-house. And I was kind of just helping my neighbors there in the complex at the lofts, and they started recommending me to their friends in Kirkwood, and it kind of just snowballed from there. Ended up getting a lot of side work, and eventually side work picked up enough that I was able to quit my full-time job, and that was 2019, and haven't looked back since.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, you're probably speaking to a lot of interested people right now that might be also like on the cusp of wanting to go part-time side hustle hobby to full-time. Wow, can we do this? What would be some kind of word of wisdom you wish you would have known maybe at the beginning, where you were like, if I had known that, I could have gotten a little bit, farther ahead at that time?
Yeah, I think I didn't really think that the side work was going to become my full-time job. So I think if I had started with a little bit more intention, things might have picked up quicker. I was probably doing handyman work as side work for, a couple years, honestly, while I still had my full-time job, because, I didn't feel confident enough at the time to jump out and do it on my own. And so, I think if I had known from the beginning that I planned to go out on my own, I may have been, a little more intentional about trying, client acquisition and trying to get my name out there and meet more people. And, it really was just word of mouth. And so it took a little bit of time. I've really never paid for marketing, which is...
Well, that makes 2 of us.
Yeah.
It wasn't till this year, 10 years into Grant Lana Lawn, but I dropped some dough on it wasn't even for her, it was for the Shmooze.
No, right.
I was a fan of the Georgia Followers page.
Yeah.
So I was just interested in kind of growing the Shmooze as part of my new trying to just keep it growing, and they are they were just a cool asset. But I also appreciate those of us that kind of do have that word of mouth, kind of like, because that's, I guess I'm just tying this all on the schmooze, but like word of mouth on the schmooze is like the number one way to get work.
100%.
If a customer is like, yo, this guy just helped me out, he did me a solid, like you're gonna get so many leads from that.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in pursuing a path of finding more steady income, and just know that there is this option out there for you, and it's free.
Yeah. You can join anytime.
Well, on that note, I will say this is an Atlanta group, and this is something I'm kind of like not struggling with, but I am curious to hear from you, the listener, aka our Atlanta resident neighbors. Metro Atlanta, it's big. I didn't realize until I talked to someone recently, and they're like, do you know Metro Atlanta goes to I'm like exaggerating here, but it's almost from like Carrollton to Athens. There's like this insane thing. And like at the beginning of the schmooze, it was like ITP. And then it was just like, people were just like, let me in. I'm like, I don't know, as long as you're not a bot, and you live in the Atlanta vicinity, I'm like, okay, cool. So I think what my question was for anyone listening is like, is that cool? Because I'm like, it is like you're getting a lot of like, I'm okay with it because I want to help people and help businesses. I'm that guy that I'm just like, sure, yeah, why not? Let's have everyone on board. But I do want to hear from anyone if you think I should like close in the boundaries a bit more, or do you feel like it's okay to have, because we're not, sorry Savannah, sorry Macon, sorry Blue Ridge Mountains, but we're not going to go crazy with it. But I kind of am curious if we should like rein it in a bit, or
I think me personally, I have a really tight service area.
Right.
Kirkwood's kind of the heart of my service area. East Atlanta Village, Grant Park, Inman Park. I'll go to Morningside and Virginia Highlands, Old Fourth Ward, and I service Decatur. When I was first starting out and I was really hungry, I'd go out to Buckhead.
Yeah.
And now with the way traffic is, I've really tried to tighten my service area, and I'll still make exceptions. I charge a small travel fee to go outside my service area.
Well, that's interesting. Maybe you could speak on that, because I get that, where like for landscaping, for instance, like we haven't done it yet, but you could charge a quote unquote estimate fee, pun intended.
Yeah.
But we just felt like, and I get it. So if someone's listening and they're like, wow, should I do that? Do you think it's beneficial to charge a little bit of a travel fee?
I think for me, I do free estimates.
Yeah. So you don't never
even
charge...
if it was outside of my service area,
Okay.
I wouldn't charge the travel fee.
Okay.
Most of the time I try to provide estimates over the phone, via text with photos or a list of projects. And a lot of the times, we can agree on a price on something, and then I can look at everything else while I'm there doing that work. Mm-hmm. And I think it's different for a lot of different contractors. I think some people want to work all over. They don't really care if it's inside or outside the perimeter, and I think, what comes to mind is like roofers or gutter cleaning companies, or, they're going to take work pretty much anywhere most of the time. And, so I may be more of a unique case because, I've been able to survive or, even thrive with such a small service area that I'm less inclined to, to take jobs in Marietta or, Roswell or Alpharetta. And, I've only had a handful or less of people reach out from the schmooze that are outside of my my area that I'm willing to travel to. With, Alpharetta or being a good example.
Alpharetta's far. No shade, anyone listening from Alpharetta. But we do have, for what it's worth, like you mentioned the director earlier, we have a ton of businesses that work in Alpharetta.
Right.
So like, so this is just something to toss out there because a lot of you already know, but maybe you don't. I started the directory a year ago, almost to literally like, wow, I wonder if it was literally a year ago because our like first meetup was in March.
Yeah, that's cool.
So all that to say, if you can post in the group like y'all do, there's like, it's crazy now. There's like it's like 20 posts a day or something.
That's amazing, man. Congrats.
It's really rad just to see like the amount of people like engaging and enjoying it. But I would just wanted to, if you want to skip that step, you don't have to. You could just go straight to the directory, type in on the website, southernshmooze.com, and type in whatever you're looking for, and poof, they pop up, and you can kind of reach out to them that way. And for the record, these are just companies that I like, so I understand, like, that my criteria might not meet your criteria as far as like who you want to hire, but I think like I'm only specifically wanting to work with companies that have a good reputation, are nice people, want to be community members in some sort of fashion. And if there is ever an issue, which knock on wood, there hasn't been since I started this, we have 0 complaints from our certified community members. And on the flip side, the group is full of lots of good people, but I have definitely kicked out quite a few bad eggs.
Yeah, and that's like with anything, man. You know, you can't filter out everyone. There's no way to know until, The only way to know is just kind of by vetting them ahead of time, and then if I say yes, you're cool in my eyes, then I'm like, cool, I'll give you that little check mark or whatever to like give you the validation, the schmooze stamp of approval. But just be careful for anyone listening that's typing into the search group, Facebook group, and you're getting all these replies, and like do your due diligence. That's going to be my like number one that's smart
takeaway right now.
Yeah, because anybody can join the group. So because it's so free, not everyone that is able to comment in the group has been vetted. Unlike the Shmooze certified directory on the website,
yes,
you've vetted those contractors, and they're going to be much more trustworthy 9 times out of 10 than somebody that's just posting in the group.
I will also give everyone a nice round of applause and pat on the back because the group y'all are doing so good with like moderating yourselves, to be honest. Like anytime you see some baloney go down, you're quick to let me know or hit that report button or whatever, and that really like helps me keep everything running smoothly. So It's like, I do want to say thanks because it's like, I don't know how it is for other admins and other groups but this one just feels like I'm just so happy I don't have to deal with any bullshit on the regular, because it's okay that like stuff pops up in here and there, and I'm like always down to help however I can. But I can only imagine like if you're running like a neighborhood group and you just got like all sorts of just this is just all sorts of shenanigans going on. Well, let's keep talking about you because you're here. And I think I can ask you a question or two.
Yeah. Shoot, fire away.
Let's see how we're doing on time, because this is all one big. Oh, sweet. We're only at like 20-ish minutes. So I feel like we're doing all right.
Yeah.
I think I want to these can go on as long as we want. I mean, 30-ish, 45-ish, whatever feels natural. I wanted to keep this conversational instead of like Q&A, but
super.
Yeah.
Dialed in advance.
So far so good. I can't tell if I'm rambling or we're just killing it.
I think it's a healthy amount of ramble.
Okay.
Like this is what the people are here for.
All right, great. Oh, and for what it's worth, everyone listening, send me your feedback, whether good or bad, or anything in between, in case you have thoughts on how we should go about this. And on that note, anything going on in your world as of late? Can you talk about that one thing?
I've got something in the works that I can't discuss.
Damn. Okay. It's cool for anyone listening.
But it's a cool thing. I'm really excited about it.
When you're finished, though, you could post about it.
Yeah, maybe we do another revisit, follow up after, and maybe we can include some final photos or something
What about things you can talk about? Anything cool, fun, interesting, unique? I can't think of any more adjectives. But...
Yeah, you know, nothing that really pops into mind.
Okay.
I do a lot of the same things. I just changed a shower cartridge and a faucet, you know, like a couple hours ago.
What about the news story we were just on? Maybe that's worth talking about?
Oh, yeah. we did just do a news clip there with, is that Atlanta News First?
Josh with Atlanta News First.
Yeah, Josh with Atlanta News First. And, yeah, that was funny, man. You shot me the text asking if I'd be open to it, and then I got a call from him like a couple hours later, and then he was at the job site in an hour.
If you haven't seen it, I think I pinned it to the group, but we were on the news station chatting about the Shmooze.
Yeah.
It was pretty tight, so thank you, Josh. I appreciate you like spreading the word of the Shmooze. It was really rad. And honestly, I don't know if there's a whole lot to chat about there. That kind of just popped in my brain for a second.
Yeah.
But I might have some something cool to talk about if we want to talk about. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't want to steal the show.
No, let's do it.
At the last meetup we had at Red's Beer Garden. Were you there?
I was unable to make
Whoa,
it. I was
this
working
is
on
Forrest.
the top secret project I
hell
can't
yeah.
discuss. So.
Okay, then you get the what's it called? Monopoly get out of jail card or whatever.
This one round.
Forrest has made it to every single meetup, just FYI, which I don't think anyone else has.
No, I remember when Mark and I were getting breakfast.
Yep.
And you were still hit or miss, and it was just the three of us. You know.
I did miss a lot of the initial shoots.
Yeah. Well, granted, we were making them at like 8 a.m. and you had Gus was still young, and but yeah, we've kind of turned something small into a large group of, I mean, we've got upwards of 20 people sometimes showing up to these events.
Yeah.
And
pretty cool.
Yeah, I always enjoy it, man. It's cool to just rub shoulders with other folks in the industry, and again, that networking, building my network of contractors that I feel confident referring, because I take a lot of pride in, in my work and in my reputation, and the way that people, are treated by people I recommend is extremely important to me. I always ask for feedback anytime I recommend anyone, even though maybe someone I'm extremely confident is going to do a great job. I still want to hear back from my client and, just put my finger on the pulse of how the job went and how their experience was. And, it's very rare that I get any negative feedback, but I always try to, take that back to the contractor and help them understand ways that they can do better. Like I said, it's super rare. It's only been a couple, and nothing ever really major, just little things like, maybe showing up on time or just better communication. And, those are things that I really try to excel at. Those pain points that people deal with contractors all the time, like not showing up on time, not communicating well, not cleaning up after themselves. Like, those things really make such a big difference for the client. And, I try to just focus my energies on meeting those standards the best that I can. And here's a tip. You mentioned tips.
Yeah, please.
One thing I do is I do a 1 hour arrival window. So instead of trying to pin down an exact time that you're going to be on a job, when there's so many variables, leaving yourself a reasonable arrival window. I've got a buddy that does a 2 hour arrival window. I think that's reasonable. When it gets up to 4, it's almost too much. Like, I don't know if you've ever sat around waiting on AT&T from 8 to 12, and then they never show up.
Well, that's the difference between everyone in our group is not AT&T, and we're way more. Your window idea is actually, I don't know why I haven't we should do that. I should do 100%.
That. You should. If you're giving an estimated arrival that's one exact time,
right,
you're really setting yourself up for failure in terms of just being on time. And so the way that I operate is the beginning of my arrival window is the time that I'm planning to get there. So that, if I'm scheduled to arrive between 10 to 11, I try to be there at 10 to the best of my ability. And if I'm not going to make it at 10, or around it, I let the client know, hey, I'll be arriving closer to 11 or later, you know.
Man, I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
This is so apropos because today I had a meeting at 3.
Yeah.
I was an hour late.
It's tough, man.
She was super cool. Shout out to Sarah.
Yeah.
And I should have given her.
Yeah, if you had a 3 to 4 arrival window,
Yep.
you would have been on time.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the window, but still, and it gives people a reasonable expectation as well. And I always try to use verbiage like estimated arrival because you never know what's going to come up, and especially in my industry, sometimes you've got to make a run to the store and get materials, and that could take an extra 30 minutes or more, even if you know exactly what you want and they have it.
Yep.
And so, I try to leave myself a little bit of buffer between appointments or, in my arrival window, and that helps me arrive when they're expecting me. And again, just communication. If you're not going to make that window, let them know as soon as possible, and that's going to make things a lot more manageable.
Yeah. Speaking of just like, we talked about it briefly before we got started, but one of the hardest parts of anyone's job, and I think 99% of any business owner here will relate, is finding good help.
Yeah.
And that's sort of like, to tie it all in, as like hiring I've fired more guys than I've hired over the years, and that's just from literally that, like them not showing up on time, or obviously there's the whole bad work aspect of it, but it's really like half the battle is just finding someone that can do a decently good job. And it's harder than you think. So anyone listening from a homeowner standpoint, we're give us a little grace, because we're we don't know who we're hiring until we're like, it's day one and they're out there and we're like, oh no, we put this guy out there,
and again, they represent you.
And not to mention the number, because I have 1-star reviews and I'll own them all, but most of them came from like 1-day hires, and it was like, wow,
tough.
look at that.
Yeah.
That's a permanent record from 7 years ago where I hired somebody I don't even remember their name anymore, and it's like,
and maybe I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but maybe those first few jobs that someone new takes, you're on the job.
I mean, you should tell me how to do my job, because I wish I would have done.
Yeah, because at least you'd see, and you'd be able to manage the client there. If this issue arises, you can say, hey, look, this isn't normal.
Right.
This is a new hire, and I take this very seriously, and I will right whatever wrongs, have been, if we've damaged your plant, if you damage your.
Yeah, these are growing pains, you could say. I've definitely, we're better now than we've ever been. So like, I think I've finally, like, honestly, I'm 10 years in, but it wasn't until literally this year, or even this past 6 months, where this is the most we've ever like been efficient.
Yeah, you feel like you got it dialed in.
Up there, and like, for instance, tomorrow I'm buying a dump trailer, which I haven't done in 10 years.
Yeah.
And it's like something we should have done maybe 10 years ago. But it's like, I'm kind of, shout out to Abe. He's like kind of co-hosting, co-running Grantland Lawn these days.
Sweet.
And that guy is like seriously taking us from here to here. And for anyone listening, I'm doing the whole hand raising up and down thing.
Yeah, I mean, having a good partner or good help, makes all the difference.
I'll say, and an office administrator. Do you have any of those? Or you do
I
it all
actually
DIY?
do everything myself. I got to give a shout out to my wife. She helps me when I get stuck with some of the QuickBooks ins and outs.
Do you want to plug her stuff real quick?
Yeah, so my wife and I own and operate a photography business.
Yeah.
It's over 10 years old. She does...
What's it called?
It's called DV Photo Video. DV like Darth Vader.
Cool.
So DV Photo Video. We do a lot of corporate work. We do private events. We do some portraiture and a lot of music festivals, and
How can they? How can someone? Do you have a website that people can find?
Our website is dvphotovideo.com. Our Instagram is @dvphotovideo. We have a contact form on our website. That's the best way to reach out. We also do real estate photos, and my wife is a licensed drone operator, and We're insured and everything. And, we've done some really cool events over the years, not just music festivals, but I did a Sephora conference over there at Pullman Yard. Maybe that was last year. She just got back from doing a corporate event in for Google in Florida.
Cool.
She shot the Super Bowl this year.
Whoa.
So she's subcontracted or, a team member on an even larger photo company as well. So in addition to running our company, which she does amazing job, she also works for a larger company that's it's called Alive Coverage, and they are one of the best photo companies in the world.
Wow.
And my wife is one of a handful of women on the team, and I think she's in the top 500 photographers in the world, to be honest.
Shout out. I love it. We should probably promote your shit. Or sorry, that's the first time I think either of us cursed so far. Yeah. We did pretty good.
Yeah. So my company's name is Smith Home Services. It's a little embarrassing. I don't have a website currently.
I need a website when you have word of mouth out the wazoo.
It's honestly why I don't, because I haven't needed one. I don't even have a Google page where you can leave reviews.
This is a little wild.
It's kind of crazy. Like I said,
we are in 2026.
I'm a little embarrassed. I should.
You're so booked out though. It's like, this is very interesting because anyone listening is like, wow, I don't need that.
Yeah, I think that it's a good idea. I should have started when I first, got my LLC and went out doing this full time. I should have started my Google page then. And, when I leave a client's house that I know is happy, prompt them to leave me a review. And,
That's so you don't have any reviews?
I could have hundreds of 5-star. I could have
probably thousands.
Yeah, I could have a lot,
Yeah.
I mean, I have anywhere from 3 to 6 appointments a day. So, and I have new clients every week.
When you say word of mouth,
I literally mean my Facebook page is neglected as well. So my website forwards to my neglected Facebook page.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I have any reviews on there.
You're an old soul that's still living in the pre-internet age.
It's been a huge blessing that I haven't had to run that rat race of.
So I'll be devil's advocate real quick, because while we love word of mouth, and the Shmooze does especially, because I've seen an uptick in like whenever someone signs up, they say like, how'd you find about it?
Yeah.
People are shouting from the rooftops, and I'm like super like, whoa, that's wild to see the Shmooze being verbally spoken into the world. But I will say for Peace of Mind Recycling in Grand Lana Lawn, the majority of our customer leads come through the website.
Oh.
Yeah, and I channel it that way, right? Like through socials, so Facebook, Instagram, yada yada.
Right, it all
I tell
links back
everyone
there.
to go to this one spot so I can keep it all in one order.
Well, it also helps your SEO, and that's very smart.
Well, I guess it's just cool to know that there's 2 ways to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's probably 1,000 ways to do it, but
I probably, even though it's worked really well for me, I don't think I would recommend it, just because, having an online presence does help you a lot, and having all those reviews legitimizes you, and, there's a lot to that. And I think, my scenario is a little bit more unique. And to be fair, I like it this way, where most of the people that I work for or new clients are recommended by neighbors. And so I know that I'm getting clients that are in my service area. Most of the time they're cool because they work for my other cool client, or, they know my other cool clients that I work for. So it's like, it's kind of helped me create a client base that I genuinely like. I like a lot of my clients. And not just because I work for them, but because I genuinely like who they are and what they do. And
cool people are only going to recommend cool people.
That's exactly what I'm saying. And,
it's man, you're almost selling me, because like we do have, from the 1,000 or so leads we get a year, obviously not all of them are grand, and we just kind of have to figure that out on our own. Wow, yeah, I guess I never knew that you didn't have the Google listing or anything.
Yeah.
So wow, how do people find you? Just by, you want to say your email or your phone number? Or,
text is actually the best way to reach me if you do want to reach out for handyman services. Again, minor plumbing and electrical, those are my specialties. My phone number is 678-478-6199.
And I haven't said this before, but I'll put that in the show notes.
Cool. Thanks.
As someone that listens to a lot of podcasts, I always hear them say that, and I'm like,
Yeah,
oh,
that'll
I
be in
can
the
do
show
that now.
notes. Yeah. Starting to sound legit there.
Yeah, no, this is exciting. Speaking of legit, I don't know if we're at that 35-minute mark, which feels pretty good. We can keep going.
I think we revisit, have another episode here.
Follow-up.
Yeah, after I wrap up this other project, assuming I get clearance to discuss it, I would love to talk some about that. And
cool. I'll end on a quick little fun note for anyone listening. So we do the meetups, right? And we've never had a member come that was just a neighbor.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I push it in the group every time. I'm like, this is open to y'all too, but no one's taken the step yet.
Yeah,
so if you want to come and
contractors.
meet everyone IRL and just get to know them like that, we don't bite. We're all just here to kind of chit chat anyways. This isn't a very this is just come have a drink, have a bite to eat, and just chit chat, schmooze rather.
Schmooze, exactly. And it's always normally the first Thursday
Correct.
of every month. I don't know. Do you have the next one?
Yeah. So this leads me into the next two cool fun things to end on is we're gonna do one with Butte Tree, which I'm
Cool.
excited about because usually you go to a local restaurant or something. By the way, if you have a local restaurant and you want to host us, that would be amazing because we're here to support local. But Butte is gonna have us out at one of their job sites.
Oh, cool.
And we get to see how they do what they do. And I'm like, I've seen them before. I've seen people. For what it's worth, Butte is one of the
They're one of the top tier,
tree removal companies in Atlanta, and they definitely know their stuff. So I'm excited to kind of just have everyone visit their, see what it's like in person, and then after that, the next meetup is going to be a fun one, and we have never done this before. But one of our members, shout out to Ashton, he runs a soup kitchen in Grant Park.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to have a volunteer schmooze day.
Yeah, that sounds
Schmooze
great.
morning, yeah, and just do that. So I'm excited to use this podcast platform to kind of let you know what's going on in schmooze land. And if you're listening and you know someone I should talk to, regardless, I'm kind of open to anyone that does something good for our city. It doesn't have to be a business per se. I'm interested in chatting with you, and so the door's open. You can find me at theSouthernShmooze.com, or you'll find me on the group because I've probably posted thousands of times. So pretty easy to spot me. Let's see. Final things to say. What do you got?
I don't know, man. Thanks for having me.
Okay,
It's been cool.
I'm excited. This felt good. This
Yeah.
felt fun. I've said it already once before, so now I'm just repeating myself, but I live my life as a one big what do you think? Because I really just love feedback, and I kind of thrive on it. So I don't want this group ever to feel like it's a me. And more like a we.
Yeah. we.
So feedback is always encouraged, good or bad, especially bad, because I really want to know how to improve everything. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Oh, guess what? Our next guest is coming. Will be Lane.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So. And then we're just going to go down the rabbit hole of our 160-ish Smooth certified businesses.
Yeah,
So
yeah, you've got quite a laundry list.
A year or two of interviews to come. And thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.
Thanks.
Okay.
See you next time.
See you next time.
When you're in need of a plumber, a roofer, a builder, a banker, a candlestick maker, electrician, technician, landscaper, bricklayer, flooring and fencing, I need to say we could be schmoozing. We could be schmoozing out sorry.